Okay, Tuesday morning in the kingdom, and it's chilly willy. Yes, it turned cold overnight. So here we went from a nice day yesterday, and it was easy, and then it turned chilly. But we didn't see any sun dogs. We're not sure what happened there. I think that Mother Nature just forgot to leave the freezer door or closed or something or open or something. But that was a shock to the system. Okay, let's do the temperature real quick. All right. Okay, can I see myself here? At 7 o'clock this morning, it was minus 25 Celsius, but feels like minus 29. So that means the iPod will censor me. Okay, but on the F scale, the yo-yo scale, it feels like minus 13. Okay, no, the base temperature is minus 13. I'm getting all confused because I haven't had a vodka this morning, but it feels like minus 20 Fahrenheit. Can you see that? February is brought to you by the number 13 because January was number 12. Okay, 13 is an unlucky number because none of the beer you purchase is divisible by 13. Like you can't buy a 26 pack or you don't buy a 12 pack plus one. You know, they don't allow that, eh? So I don't know, it's going to be a terrible month. Also, too, my third book in the Winter Road series, which is my 13th book I've written in my writing career, is on for free right now as an ebook. And I'll include the link at the end of this video, like a true YouTuber, eh? Okay, the funny thing is, okay, the 13th book, I didn't want to write it because it's 13, right? And I just didn't want to do it. So I wrote the book, and it's turning out to be very popular because it's got a white Suburban on the front of it, and it tells about my ex-fiancée coming back into my life after she left with the white Suburban, okay? And the flat screen TV, which she watched me on Ice Road Truckers, okay? So it's really funny because yesterday was her birthday. Yeah, the ex-fiancée's birthday was yesterday, and as a man, that is the only birthday I remember. I don't know why. I always screw up the staff's birthday by one day, you know, and any other birthdays, anniversaries, or anything like that, I have no idea. I can't remember or anything. But the ex-fiance's birthday, I always remember it. I don't know why. Maybe she instilled it into my little mind that I have to buy her a present. I have to take her for a nice dinner, and then she'll do bad things to me later, okay? In one of those sexy outfits from Discreet Boutique. Oh, the memories are just so good. But I emailed her yesterday, okay, to say happy birthday. And the funny thing is, it didn't bounce back. Oh, yeah. So that was amazing. So maybe she's unblocked me or something, or she just doesn't check her emails or something. So I was amazed because last year I tried to email her to wish her happy birthday, and it bounced back like the child support payment for the staff, you know, from the staff's real mother. That was unreal. And I don't know. I guess it'd be 18 years of raising a child as a single parent. The mother sent me $60. Isn't that unreal? But if a man misses the payment, oh, look out, there's your driver's license, there's your car, there's your job, everything like that. But a woman forgets to pay for her kid, you know, that she popped out, that's okay. That's acceptable in society, okay? But the thing is I don't market it. I don't tell people and anything like that that I raised a daughter as a single parent from birth, okay? I had a fun time at the hotel. The blood test said the kid was mine, and I brought the kid home from the hospital and raised her to be part of the staff here, okay? So I don't market that. I don't make a big thing about it. But we had good times and memories, okay? Oh, enough of this memory lane. Look at the flag exercise. Where is he? Okay, look at him right there. He's going. See, I'm stuck in a corner here, eh? I'm out of the wind. So the new shop with no roof is kind of good for blocking the wind, eh? That's about the only thing it's good for. But today will be a shop day because yesterday I was in the house going one-on-one with Sir Rodney at Westrans. I asked for a part. He says what he has. We change it around. We back and forth. So yesterday we got a lot of stuff straightened out on the V12. The hydraulics, we're learning about that because we're trying to copy it off the... Oh, got a cough. Because they're trying to copy it off the V plow, the plow on the floor of the plow truck, because it's hydraulics out, hydraulics in, so that'll be the steering, eh? Same thing. Go out, in, out, turn the wheel, skis go this way, skis go that way. Okay, so it was a good day on the computer, one-on-one, getting parts ordered, cleaning off the desk, organizing stuff so we can have a production day today. Sir Rodney's got parts coming in from the States and everything, so it's all in Winnipeg. We're going to get some of the important stuff shipped up by Canada Post so Karen can beat up and abuse the boxes or whatever like she always does, and complain, okay? But the heavy stuff will have to wait for Ed Martin to come back on a beer run or whatever, so he'll bring that kind of stuff up. But it's just unreal. Everything is coming together, but it's so slow when you live at the end of the world. It's just unreal. I can't believe it. I haven't been censored yet. Maybe I should just keep talking. But people can't believe that big companies, big trucking outfits have no care in the world about paying past bills or trying to get paid. I'm just a little guy at the end of the world. Who cares? Who cares, right? Who cares? Well, when us little guys who pay taxes and keep the communities going with the restaurants and all that kind of stuff are gone, you have nothing, okay? It'll be the big franchises that keep going. That's it. And then you'll be an employee working there with no benefits or anything like that, okay? So that's what I say. That's why I'm retired. I'm living off of YouTube. Thanks again, viewers. And Amazon book sales. Thank you to my readers. And I thank these people for helping me out, getting me on YouTube, getting me on Amazon and stuff like that. If I was still selling my books out of the house here and mailing them at the post office, that was an endless cause. It was just unreal. Okay, it's going dark light, so I better end this because I'm going to be censored. Okay.
Okay, I'm in the shop here and we're looking at the carburetors, these Strongberg carburetors. Okay, Sir Rodney always sends me pictures of everything and stuff like that. So I printed off the pictures. This is the muffler clamp or turbo clamp, okay, here, and he's measured it. So now I've measured it over here. Don't ask me to get that to the 7 because I know it won't work. So the clamp or the flange that he's sending up for us is going to be a little bigger, but that's okay because I can cut the flange here, okay, right here. I'll switch hands. I can cut this flange here 4 times, okay, and make it smaller. But the main thing is we have the clamp. He's got 2 of them, one for each carburetor, or the flange. And he's also included the turbo clamp here. And then by the looks of the picture, it looks like it can go small enough. But also the fact is, I'm a welder. So I can make this clamp fit the carburetors here, because he's sending up 2 clamps. So this is the joys of living at the end of the world. We can't buy stuff or anything like that. So Sir Rodney has to find what he has in stock in his warehouse, in the shop, and what he has at Westrans. Westrans, the company, home of Sir Rodney. So this is working out very good. So we're going to try and get some air cleaners on these carburetors, because if we go for a test drive, we don't want snow and everything down the carb. So this will work out good. So this is part of yesterday's project, working with Sir Rodney, going back and forth. He's taking pictures of what he's got, and I'm seeing if it's working. Okay, you can hear the wood stove burning out of control, and I'm throwing wet wood in because we're in a high pressure system, plus it's turned nasty outside. It's gotten a little windy, and the flag exercise is getting lots of exercise. So with this pump outside the grill or the rad cradle for the Linn tractor, we're putting the suction hose straight up, okay? So that's what we want. So Rodney's got us a fitting coming. I think it's a number 12, and it'll be 90 degrees. Because we don't want any of the hydraulic hoses in the motor compartment of the Linn tractor. This Linn tractor 25 years ago went for a test drive with a small block Chevy in it and an automatic transmission. The connecting rod came out the side of the block and it took out the transmission line. So now there's oil or fluid, ATF, pumped all over the hot exhaust and everything, and the Linn caught fire. So we had a great time putting that fire out, and we just about lost the Linn tractor. So with the V12 under the hood, with all the exhaust, we want nothing of any hydraulics under the hood. A little fuel line breaking, that's okay. We can handle that. So we'll be putting this here at the other end at the top. Okay, we're going to mount the hydraulic tank into the rad cradle at the top. Okay, we'll incorporate it in. So that'll go straight up. These are fittings that I had from the good old days of the mine. Like these are air hose fittings for underground and stuff like that. Like they're heavy duty quality. So I was lucky enough to have two of them. Little buffing up. Sir Rodney will supply us the 1-inch suction hose and the quality clamps. And then once we get this pump mounted, because the dry shaft is done, then we can start figuring out the hydraulics and the hoses, because Sir Rodney has to make the hoses in Winnipeg and then send them up. So I have to get everything measured out and then send him the measurements, or give him the measurements, and then he can change it over, okay? So it's not that simple of a job, go get your hoses made at the hydraulic shop, but no, this is a long process, okay? Okay, the next problem we're having with the Linn tractor here is, I've owned this machine for 25 years. We have extra parts and everything on the shelves, and somehow these little rings here, or spacers, got added into the drive line here. Okay, this is a spacer ring. Looks like it's well used. It's flanged out, so that means it wasn't in tight and it was rattling around. This one here is a little questionable too. Okay, so we're gonna have no idea where they come from. All right, so Linn was using these spacer rings. Trying to do everything one-handed here. Okay, this is where the drive shaft goes onto the transmission here. Just imagine this onto the back of the transmission. So this is the power ring or whatever on the drive shaft. So those little teeth there, oh, not to go too fast, mesh in here. So this goes into the back of the transmission. That's the seal housing. Oops, got to get the hand caught up here. All right, so then they use this spacer ring here, which looks like the other ones, to keep everything tight. All right, so the first thing we thought of was maybe one of these rings. Okay, all right, let's go here to the rear end, to the park brake here. One of these rings went in here, but it doesn't. Okay, there's no shiny marks in here showing that it's worn. Okay, this doesn't kind of look right for being in here. And then the teeth, okay, the teeth have no marks on them. Okay, so if this ring was in here, those teeth would have marks on, like a steering clutch is on a cat. Like a steering clutch on a cat. Oh, I got the burps. Oh, geez, not the peanut butter, it's the peanuts. I had a handful before I started videoing. Okay, like a steering clutch is on a cat. The first 5 or 6 steering clutches are the ones that move and release the power to the tracks. So there's no marks or anything on these teeth showing that the drive shaft was wearing it or anything like that, like a steering clutch. When you take a cat steering clutch apart, those teeth are all marked up with the movements and stuff. So I have the original parts book, okay. Back in the day when the old timers shared the wealth and, shared their knowledge and stuff, I was given a book on the Linn tractor. But this book, okay, I'll have to go over here so there's no glare. Okay, remember these videos are one shot, non-edited, just for length. Okay, in here, they're showing the collar, okay, and that's that one I showed on the flange over here. So that is correct. So you can just see it right there. It's there. But there is nothing back here. There is no collar or anything like that. That's just showing the teeth right here onto the teeth, okay? So there is a little bit of movement, because it has to have movement, because how the hell you get this shaft in here, okay? So there has to be flex and movement. So we're thinking that the seal and everything here, and this little clamp here, keeps the drive shaft forward up against this here, all right? And we looked at the drive shaft here, all right? So this is the one that goes in the rear end. There's no markies showing that there's one of those collars, okay? And at this end here, remember, this was not planned. Okay, shows that it's all shiny and everything for going up against this collar here. Okay, so we think we figured it out, that these 2 extra collars were somehow tossed into it. But you also got to remember that we're not using the original drive shaft in here to go to the direction box that Linn had on the Cummins motor, okay? So we're thinking maybe that's where those collars came from, because those collars, okay, just here, bear with me. Okay, now if I rehearse this 3 or 4 times, it would turn out terrible. Okay, this collar fits in nice here, and then if there was a flange on top on the drive shaft going to the front direction box, then it would all work out. So I think we have 2 extra collars for that are got tossed in, but that's a good thing, because you never know. We might be finding the Cummins engine and the direction box, and we could be putting it back together the way it was after I'm a multi-millionaire. And I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt it very much. Once these machines have been, how do you say, king of obsolete dies or whatever like that, they're going to stay that way, because there's no way these machines can go back to being all original and drive around the parade grounds and wave at the ladies. These machines will always be bush machines, taken out and driven, even by my daughter, after I'm long gone. Because her and I are the last ones to actually work at Linn and know what they can do and how many sleighs they'll pull. All right, I better get to work. The boss is coming. Okay, lunchtime in the kingdom, and I got a fair amount done this morning. Everything is marked and everything in plastic bags for future reference. Okay, as you get older, you're supposed to put your nuts and bolts and everything in little jars and hang them off the ceiling of your basement. Well, I put everything in plastic bags and put it in a semi-trailer. Okay, slowly getting the Linn tractor cleaned off and organized and parts marked and everything like that, and double checking my list with Sir Rodney. All right, instead of using a street T, which is an elbow, no, a street elbow, which is an elbow with a female on that end and a male on that end, I went for a closed nipple, okay? Oh, we always have time for nipples. But with the closed nipple, or close nipple, I'm able to get that extra turn to bring the suction line perfectly in line with being straight up and down to the top of the rad cradle or the rad shroud or the grill or whatever. Okay, and I did make sure it's the top, okay? So I didn't put it on upside down. All right, let's go have some lunch. Okay, after lunch was very successful in the shop. We got the pump together here. It's ready to go on once the Sir Rodney sends the other pump here with the dry shaft. I mean the other fitting here with the dry shaft. And then we did the chains for the steering, okay? So they're all beveled and everything like that. They're ready to go, never cease, so my hands get greasy and then it's everywhere. But also too, I had broken one of the bolts here a long time ago, so now it's in the parts bin here or whatever for next time. And we got lucky here with the output shaft of the PTO having the same bolt pattern as a truck, okay? So that worked out good because they're actually offset and everything gets quite confusing. So we'll put this dry shaft onto there and it should look good. And then what we're going to do is just cut it off where we need it, make a temporary dry shaft until we get the proper transmission this summer, I guess, okay? So now let's go to the other side. Okay, the other day I struggled with that big steel plate, which is over here. So it's been in the shop for 2 days now, so now it's nice and warm, we can work on it, okay? But things changed in plans, like we had to take the day off to get parts ordered, so they're coming, because everything's a week to 2 weeks. So now we have to make an adapter plate to go in here for this flange here to bolt up for the back drive shaft, because this is the flange that goes in the back transmission, which is the original Linn. So this will go on here, it'll all work out together. So the Linn number 1 had a fancy dry shaft made up with a machine shop making a plate. What I'm going to do is just Mickey Mouse a plate together, because I can't find the one that was on this transmission back in the day. Okay, so we're just going to Mickey Mouse something, and then once we do our test drive and we can find the proper transmission, then we'll have a machine shop make the proper spacer plate and do it correct. Because I know we're not going to be true to the world. It'll have a slight wobble. Okay. Okay, it was my lucky day. I cut a round hole, or a round circle out of a steel plate, a square steel plate, and I used this piece of shit plasma cutter that I've owned for 22 years. It's never worked since the day I got it. An expensive piece of crap, and it's supposed to be ready for 1/4 inch, and I think I'm playing around on 1/2 inch. So this is actually going good. So maybe it will be my lucky day today. Okay, the plasma cutting turned out pretty good. I'm very pleased with it. I got it in the vise and I got it clamped onto the piece, okay? So what I'm doing is drilling out the holes, using it the old-fashioned way. Brand new bit and some lube. Always time for lube, okay? But I've also marked it right here with the cutting wheel. So that's the way it'll line up for the bolt pattern. That's it. Seriously, that's it. You'll sit there trying to turn it and turn it and turn it to find the bolt holes to line up. That's like me being colorblind trying to figure out a Rubik's Cube. Okay, we've done this before, so it's kind of boring. We're just plugging away because it's nasty outside. Okay, once you have your holes all drilled and everything looks pretty, you're bolting it as you drill it, of course, okay? Now you take your grinder, all right, with the small disc, and then you put it, or the small blade, and then you just chase it down. So you're using the original machined edge here to get this even, okay? And then you save your flapper discs that are worn out, because this is good right here, this is not. So then you can go on here and make it smooth. Okay, so that's what we're doing. I dropped out of machine shop class because the teacher wasn't teaching us anything, but I sure have learned how to grind over the years. All right, I better keep going because I want to get this done before quitting time. Okay, it's quitting time in the kingdom, and I finished the adapter plate for the front of the back transmission, which is the Linn transmission. So I would have been nice to use 3/4 inch or 1 inch plate, and then I would have had more meat for the bolts to grab. But I can't cut that anymore, so all I got is the plasma cutter, and I pushed it to the limit with a 1/2 inch. So it actually worked out pretty good. So I drilled it out, tapped it with fine thread bolts, did the 1-pass weld on it with the crappy rods. And let's see what I did here. Okay. I don't know if we can see it. Can we see it? I don't know. There they are. I just ground the bolts off so they're pretty. All right. But the only way to get the U-joint part centered, the U-joint has a ridge like this. So what I was doing was going underneath here and feeling it. And then I could go around and do the 4 sides and get it perfectly. And then I give it a good zap with the welder, double checked it. And then as I welded it into place, I double checked and stuff with the feeler gauge here. All right, so it actually worked out pretty good. Just reaching in underneath to get the edge, and it worked out good. So it turned out pretty well. It will not be perfect, but that's par for the course. Here we are at the end of the world, and we're not wasting time machining and everything like that. So a little 3-hour project this afternoon, and it was completed. Probably took longer to get the 1/2 inch steel plate out of the snowbank the other day. All right, let's go check on the flag exercise. Okay, it got nasty this afternoon with the wind and the snow coming down. So I couldn't leave at 5 o'clock or whatever to go pick up the pony because I can't see the road. So I told the staff we'll wait till it gets dark and then I can drive out because we're snow blind. And also too, in the last hour, it has quit snowing, which is nice. And the flag exercise is kind of wrapped up over there. Had an enjoyable afternoon with that wind and snow. All right, let's call it a day, drink some beer, and make a video. Talk to you later.